track storms to alert you first. This is KIMT Storm Team 3, weather coverage you can count on.
Welcome back on this Sunday evening. I'm joined now by Storm Team 3 meteorologist Travis Clark-Smith, and I want to take a look back to yesterday. Yesterday was when we had all of that freezing wetness on the ground, and when I walked out the studio last night, I was slipping and sliding. I was scared.
Yeah, freezing rain really is the worst. It makes things very, very slippery, especially parking lots and side streets that aren't necessarily treated right away. You know, and it just makes for bad driving all the way around. And so, yeah, I definitely understand it was very slick out there. And we've got the temperature still hanging around right around the freezing mark. And with this fog that we're dealing with, it could make for some icy spots on the roads because the road temperatures are quite cold. So with any of those thicker areas of fog, you want to be especially diligent for those slick spots on the road. High temperatures today were right above the freezing mark, 35 in Rochester, 36 in Albert Lea and Austin, and 34 in Mason City. We'll tick up a couple of degrees for tomorrow before temperatures really start to cool down once again, getting back into those more December-like temperatures. Looking at Rochester right now, a little bit more visible in the area now, 31 degrees, winds out of the south-southwest at 16 miles per hour. Now those higher breezes are kind of pushing that fog out, but if the winds go down a little bit, then that fog will definitely roll back in, much like in Mason City, where it's very difficult to see the city right now. 32 degrees, we got winds out of the south-southeast at 11 miles per hour. Most of the dense fog right now is south of I-90. You look at Mason City, about 3/4 of a mile visibility. Charles City was looking at a 1/4 mile visibility. You know, Rochester, we'd like to see those perfect 10s, but a 5 is where we're at right now in Rochester. And that's why we have a dense fog advisory in place for pretty much the majority of the KIMT viewing area. Those visibilities could get down to a 1/4 of a mile or less in the areas of the dense fog. So if you do need to do any traveling overnight or even into the morning commute, you want to give yourself some extra time to get to your destination. Make sure you got some safe distance between you and the vehicles around you. And of course, use your low beams in areas of dense fog. And of course, those, like I said earlier, those road temperatures are very cold. So those areas of thicker fog could deposit some slick spots on the road, so be aware of that as you're out driving. Taking a look at satellite and radar, quite a different story from this time yesterday. Really nothing falling out of the clouds, otherwise just that fog that is hanging around, and it will stick around through the morning commute. As we go through the overnight hours, we have this front that will be passing through the area, and that'll increase speeds of the winds coming out of the west, and that will push the fog out, and then the winds will be picking up even more, so we could be gusting up to 25 to 30 miles per hour for tomorrow. So that's what we have to look forward to tomorrow. Thankfully, though, not really seeing any chance for rain, just maybe a sprinkle or two in some areas. This is what we're looking at right now as we go through the night tonight. The winds are going to shift around to the west. Might see a few sprinkles in northeastern Iowa around 9 o'clock in the morning. Otherwise, just dealing with some cloudy skies. And then as we go through the night, tomorrow night into Tuesday, more clouds. And then Tuesday, we could see some snow showers, especially later in the day going into Wednesday. For tonight, right around the freezing mark, 30 degrees in Rochester, Austin, 33 in Mason City, 29 in Charles City. For tomorrow, we're going to be up close to 40 degrees, 38 in Rochester and Austin, 40 degrees in Charles City. And taking a look at our 7-day forecast, where your weekend is always in view. Couple chances for snow on Tuesday and again on Thursday. Other than that, temperatures really dropping down into the teens by next weekend.